The more dangerous a job is, the more it pays. You just took a job offer to stand in an empty room and do nothing for $100,000 an hour. We call it the hazard rate. There are still merit-based salaries, as it's unlikely to get gutted while working audit as an accountant, but for the more desperate people around the world, there are specialty positions. Always with hazard rates. Always flirting with lethal implications. And, quite obviously, not usually legal. Last job I took offered nearly $20,000 an hour. Easy work, mostly. Just required patience and a good eye. Spot the snitch, point out the undercover cops, place a backpack behind their car and walk away within 30 seconds. Cops walk like they own the sidewalk, taking up far too much space. A snitch always checks his corners and looks over his shoulder. Wasn't too hard. Then wham, bam and kablai. Ooey gooey, cops and informants splattered all over the pavement. You'd need a spatula to clean that up. I spent my cab ride home counting cash while the sirens whizzed by me to the scene of the crime. So imagine my surprise when the cold tip of a suppressor presses against my temple, with two unnecessarily massive men flanking my bedside. No words, no reason, and most assuredly uninvited. Part of me wanted to guess cops. Maybe I'm somebody's loose end, but a man in this line of work knows there's nothing to gain by whining and begging. Just ask for a cigarette and a shot before they wipe you out. They don't say anything. Instead, some creepy mother effer at the very end of my bed, dressed in a tan suit like some kind of a-hole, leers forward, tall as an oak and thin as a rail. "Mr. Blackwood," he whispers. Barely audible. "You're needed elsewhere." So a black sack gets thrust over my head with a small flap to breathe through, and I know not to ask any questions. In this line of work you sit still and keep quiet until told otherwise. Inquisitive fucks end up dissolving in tubs of acid, and I don't think my health insurance covers that kind of crap. A long van ride, bumpy as crap, smelling of formaldehyde and rotting meat, and very poorly ventilated. After what I guess is an hour or two I'm shoved into a building, down some stairs, and into a room by the muzzle of a rifle. Lovely. Off comes the sack. Blinding light, and I find myself in a room smaller than a prison cell, totally devoid of any color besides the bleak gray of concrete. A single light dangles from the ceiling, sometimes flickering. Very cliché. The man in the suit, who doesn't and hopefully won't tell me his name, simply hands me a small yellowed piece of paper and walks out. It reads pretty plainly. Sit in this room until released. Ask no questions, make no sound. For every hour of service, expect $100,000 direct deposited into a Swiss account, to be accessed after service is rendered. Coordinates to be given afterward. Whatever they're about to do, I don't want any part of it. No one pays that high, and even this is an unusually low amount of information. I pass the time the same as I did in my stints in prison, sleeping and daydreaming. I never got solitary, but I'd heard of it messing you up mentally. Sometimes the wall would talk to you, and your only human interaction came when that cardboard-tasting meal would get shoved into the slot. Hours, hours, hours. Time is becoming difficult to discern. Grumble, rumble, aching. Damn, I'm hungry. With no warning, the door swings open. Creaking metal and another oversized goon, and oh boy, here comes another piece of paper. Congratulations, Mr. Blackwood. The real task begins. Outside is a duffel bag, a single Glock G26 9x19 pistol, along with 3 magazines of ammunition, and $25,000 cash. You must survive for 24 hours. Restriction: you cannot leave city limits. Cell phone must remain on. Authorities cannot be contacted. Failure to comply will result in execution. Flip over the card. No way. I've heard of these gigs but always assumed they used immigrants or some shit. Manhunting costs a pretty penny and no one is going to miss some illegal smuggled in a damn barrel. On the other side is the banking password, account number and a phone number. This account becomes active after 48 hours. In addition to your previous earnings, you will earn another $100,000 per hour you survive. Should you not survive, all money will be sent to your primary beneficiary. Leslie. Who boy is she going to be confused. I think I told her I worked in finance or some BS. She worries too much, and this kind of job would break her little heart. No more questions, only instinct. Rush up the stairs, past the goons and slam open into the outside world. Sunrise. Chilly air. Breathe in, breathe out. No time to waste, no time to think, no time to panic. Only instinct. Run. Most modern-day humans living in civilized cultures live with this absurd conviction that messed up things will never happen to them. If you work in such occupations as I have, you often see the sheer randomness of violence, and how easily a life can be overturned into a beautiful mess. I place a bomb by a car, and anyone could be shuffling down the sidewalk, consumed by their own lives and thoughts. Then all of a sudden pop. Now you live the rest of your life with only one leg. So sad, too bad. Organized crime and collateral damage can often go hand in hand. Nothing personal, really. Even someone in my line of work, however, does not expect to be hunted. Targets are the forgettable people of society. Homeless, destitute, immigrants, mentally ill, the usual suspects. Whomever has chosen me decided they want some sport in this. Now, in the briskness of a late November morning, with the sun shining on the back of my neck, I find myself in the middle of a park. In the distance I hear children on the swing. Way too exposed. I have no idea who is hunting me, whether or not they are alone, and why exactly they have chosen me. I sprint. To my right I see a road, and a couple of taxis parked in a neat row. Men smoke and converse in a confined circle, almost like penguins huddling for warmth at the South Pole. They all turn to see the dipshit with the beige duffel bag, slightly out of shape and out of breath. $1,000 to take me where I need to go. No questions asked. I bend over and feel a slight cramp. An extra grand if you don't say a word. I might as well splurge this cash. I hate small talk. Now I'm in a cab that smells equal parts curry, feces and sweat. A balding, middle-aged man wordlessly plows through morning traffic, nearly tipping as we rush to my best and only friend's little slice of suburban heaven. Still in the city limits, so not breaking the rules. Cell phone must stay on. Tracking purposes, I assume. I unzip the bag, pull out the pistol, admire how pretty it is, toss two $1,000 stacks into the front seat and slide a magazine into the pistol. Pull the slide to chamber around. Vibration. A single text message from Leslie. Good morning. A little kissing face next to it. Isn't she a doll? She even uses punctuation. A real classy lady. Time at 6:52 a.m. It dawns on me I don't know exactly when my 24-hour period ends. Like most things in my life, I just ignore the implications and rest my face against the freezing glass. We've arrived. My boy still hasn't left the house, his trashy Toyota still clogging his driveway. His wife's black BMW is no longer in the driveway. Did he finally catch her boss balls deep inside her? About time. Out of the cab and it speeds away. $2,000 for his morning already. Not bad hazard pay. Inside Bobby is drinking already. I don't hear little gremlins screaming and running around the house, so I'm assuming the kids aren't home. He looks up, red-eyed. Bleary. He's been crying. Hey Alex, he croaks to me, refilling his glass. The hell you doing here? There is no time to explain. I take out my cell phone and place it on the counter, quickly scribbling Leslie's phone number onto a piece of scratch paper. Bobby, I can't explain much to you right now, I start but he holds up a hand. What's the hazard pay, Alex? A lot. He nods. Downs the glass, performs a refill with shaking hands. I'll pay $10,000. I reach into the bag, pulling out 10 stacks. 15, Bobby says. I need cash for a lawyer. Done. I leave the phone and run to the small glass bowl that contains Bobby's various keys. Wife's keys are gone. TSK. Didn't Sasha love this bowl? Bobby isn't really paying too much attention, he simply nods. I pick it up and smash it on the floor. See you tomorrow, Bobby. Next thing I know I'm in Bobby's car, speeding to my apartment. I don't know how long I've got until they figure out that I don't have my phone. Part of me hopes it's not cheating, the other part doesn't give a damn. I'm outside. Officially 9 a.m. Little old Ms. Yeltsin already went out for groceries. She's always been a doll and a lovely neighbor, so I help her carry them into the elevator. Never in too much of a rush to have good manners. The door to my apartment swings open. No huge goons. No creepy tan-suited a-hole. There is, however, a man in a black hoodie. Instinct. Draw the pistol tucked in my jeans. Click. I left the safety on. He turns and we share a moment of dumbfounded astonishment. Apparently, we are both terrible at this. All I can do is charge, feeling the pistol in his right hand and twisting his wrist to force his release. He grips me at the waist, slamming me against the opposite wall, knocking over dishes in my kitchen. Instinct. Reach for a ceramic bowl, smash it against his face. His balaclava blocks his features, but the blood seeps through the fabric. Another smash. Another smash. The slight crack of bone. I take his face and slam it into the hardwood floor, the thick sound of slamming a slab of raw meat on concrete. Blood pools. Hair, brain, bone, lifeblood, and a few teeth. Does this a-hole have any idea how hard this shit will be to get out of my goddamn kitchen? It's everywhere. The phone rings. I search his pockets. No wallet. No identification. The phone continues to ring. Answering machine. The soft lilt of Leslie's voice. Hey Alex, she begins. How musical her voice is. You didn't answer your phone, so I decided to call your home phone. Just a reminder that we're going to my parents' barbecue this weekend. Be sure to make some brisket. Anyway, see you later. Love you. She hangs up. God damn it, I forgot I need to make brisket by Friday. One thing at a time. The door to my apartment is still open and I've just smashed a man's skull in my kitchen. Unfortunately, no clues as to who he was or why he was here. However, whomever is hunting me isn't doing it alone. Perhaps this is more of an elaborate hit? Not nearly enough hazard pay for this BS. I hear Ms. Yeltsin out in the hall, calling out to me. I tell her I'm fine. Just a slip. Such a sweet old gal. Further down the hall, the elevator opens. Heavy-clad footsteps make their way towards my apartment. I find the pistol. Switch off the safety. At least their blood won't get into the hardwood.